ready to wear versus made to measure. This one's from Uniqlo, this one's from Collaro. This one's 20 bucks, this one's 200 bucks. Is this 10 times better than this? Let's find out. Both are your classic Oxford cloth button-down shirts, or OCBD for short, if you're a menswear nerd. The ready-to-wear Uniqlo shirt sports a grey stripe against a white base, is priced $39.90 Sing dollars at full retail, but is frequently discounted to $19.90. On the other hand, the Collaro OCBD sports a light blue stripe against a white base. It used to be priced between 150 Sing dollars to 170 Sing dollars if I recall correctly, and I'm not sure if they currently offer this fabric online, but their other Oxfords are currently priced between 179 and 199 SGD before shipping. I've had the Uniqlo one for over a year and the Collaro one for well over 2 years. Right off the bat, the Uniqlo shirt feels more rugged, is slightly coarser, thicker and heavier, while the Collaro shirt feels more like a dress shirt as the fabric feels finer, thinner and lighter. However, both brands still feel much lighter than typical heritage OCBD brands like Brooks Brothers and Mercer & Sons. Of course, the weight and handfeel aren't complete indicators of breathability and comfort, but I find that the Collaro shirt wears better in humid summers and can also be used in springtime. The Uniqlo shirt is a tad bit more insulating, so I'd only wear it in chilly summer nights or in air-conditioned environments. I live a pretty sedentary lifestyle, so I rarely move in a way that would cause any major creases. The Uniqlo shirt creases more easily, but isn't so obvious if it does happen, while the Collaro shirt doesn't crease as easily, but is more obvious if it does happen. Both have held up well despite me not babying them and putting them through the washing machine after every wash. The Uniqlo fabric starts off soft and continues to be soft. The Collaro fabric starts off slightly stiffer but has softened significantly. As you can see, the taller band height and the longer point length of the Collaro collar gives the Collaro shirt, surprise surprise, a more prominent collar row. It's much more elegant compared to the slight S row of the Uniqlo collar. The Collaro collar is finished with a 23 SPI edge stitching, which can also be found on the placket and sleeve cuff. The stitch from the Uniqlo collar is finished 0.5 cm away from the edge and has 12 SPI. Edge stitching combined with a high SPI count looks cleaner and is more suitable for dressier shirts. It can also prevent the dreaded collar curl and is theoretically more durable. But I wouldn't say that it's necessarily better than a shirt without these features. It's more of the kind of the look that you're going for, as a non-edge stitch, low SPI count looks better on a casual shirt. It's good to see both brands utilizing the single needle stitch to attach the sleeve to the sleeve head. You can tell that it's a single needle stitch because there's one stitch on the outside and two stitches running on the inside, which results in a strong seam and a cleaner look on the outside. Collaro has a larger distance between the two inside stitches, which is useful as it gives a little bit of leeway to extend your sleeve if you ever need it next time. Uniqlo has a distance of 0.5 cm, which is a neater look on the inside. Both brands utilize flat felt seams, which is one of the stronger seams, on the sides of the shirt and on the undersides of the sleeves. Both brands also lack a gusset at the hem. It's not really a big deal at this price point, but it would be nice to have it on the Collaro shirt. The felt seams on the Collaro shirt has a smaller distance between the seams, which suits its dressier look, while the Uniqlo has a larger distance between the seams, which suits its sportier look. Speaking of sporty, the Uniqlo shirt has more puckering throughout the shirt, which I much prefer on a casual shirt, but it can be removed with a quick iron. Obviously, at this price point, every seam will be machine stitched, and I'm happy to say that both brands have clean and tight stitches throughout the shirt. The Uniqlo button is made from plastic, while the Collaro button is made from Australian mother of pearl. Both buttons are 1 mm in diameter, but the thickness of the Uniqlo button is 2.5 mm, while the Collaro button is at 3 mm. It's a small difference, but that makes it much harder to button the Collaro shirt even though it's shanked and the Uniqlo buttons aren't. Separately, even though plastic is the less durable material, I've yet to experience any breakage on any of my plastic buttons. But the mother of pearl definitely gives the shirt a more upscale finish and a more lustrous shine. A neat detail is a smaller top button on the Collaro shirt that makes it easier to unbutton and button the shirt and is less protruding when wearing a tie. Both brands have a clean machine stitched buttonhole, which is to be expected at this price point, so no complaints here. The Uniqlo cuff has two buttons to adjust its tightness by 3/4 of an inch. I find myself using the looser option more as it allows for more airflow during the summer heat. Collaro has one button on each side, but I increased the cuff size on the left side by 0.5 inches so that I can wear a watch. The Uniqlo shirt is unlined on the cuffs, collar and placket, which makes it softer and stays true to the original OCBD. On that note, it also has a chest pocket, locker loop and a box pleat. I got my Collaro shirt with a shoulder pleat and with none of the other excess details, but since Collaro does custom shirts, you can always opt in for the chest pocket or the box pleat. The interlinings on the cuffs, placket and collar on the Collaro shirt gives it structure, but it still remains soft. The interlining makes it easier to roll up the sleeves, allows the collar to have less wrinkles, and ensures that the placket stays upright all day. Again, this does not mean that the Collaro shirt is necessarily better than the Uniqlo one, as one is made to be a dressier OCBD and the other a more casual one. On the bottom of the hem height of the Uniqlo shirt is about 0.6 to 0.7 cm, while on the Collaro one it is about 0.5 cm, which suits their respective formalities. At this price point, again, it's to be expected that the stripes on both shirts at the shoulder seams do not match up. Even on the Uniqlo chest pocket, which is the most obvious part, the stripes do not line up. In terms of fit, I would say that the Uniqlo shirt is sized larger than the Collaro one. Both are comfortable on the neck, but you can tell that there's a little bit of collar gap on the Uniqlo one. For shoulders, the Collaro shirt ends right at the end of my shoulders, while the Uniqlo one has a little bit of a droop, but I wouldn't say that it's anything major. The Collaro shirt lays cleanly on my chest, whereas the Uniqlo shirt doesn't lay as cleanly due to the excess fabric. Both are comfortable in the waist, with the Uniqlo one having a little bit more room. Sleeve length on both shirts are good as it ends right at the base of my thumb, but I did alter the Uniqlo one. The sleeve pitch on both shirts are excellent with no major bunching. Although I'm tucking in both shirts whenever I'm wearing them, the Uniqlo one is too long and adds unnecessary bulk, and I might actually alter it next time. Since the Collaro shirt is dressier, I often pair it with hot trousers and even pleated shorts. The Uniqlo shirt works better with more casual heritage wear like, say, a denim jacket or even cargo pants, but lacks the subtle details for it to pair with other more formal pieces, unless you're into high-low dressing. After discount, the Uniqlo OCBD is about 20 SGD. Currently, Collaro's least expensive Oxford shirt is 179 SGD and they offer free shipping in Singapore. But if you're based overseas, you've got to factor the additional 22 to 46 SGD depending on where you live. So if you add them up, it's minimally 201 SGD, which is at least 10 times more expensive than the Uniqlo shirt. So, is the Collaro shirt worth 10 times the price? As always, it depends. Although some details are similar, like the flat felt seams and the single needle stitching, they are really two different shirts. The Uniqlo shirt is a good entry point into OCBD shirts. It has most of the details found in the original OCBD, which lends itself to a casual and sportier vibe. But since it's off the rack, the fit won't be perfect, but any alteration should be an easy fix. Meanwhile, the Collaro shirt is a step above in terms of finishing and gives a dressier vibe. The fit will be better than most of your ready-to-wear shirts, but since it's made to measure, especially if you are buying it online, some trial and error may be needed to dial in the fit. Although it must be said that the detailed measuring guide and the responsive customer service does reduce this risk significantly. I'd say that apart from the buttons, you're unlikely to wear any of these shirts anytime soon. Just because Collaro has better finishing associated with dressier shirts doesn't mean it's the right shirt for you if your wardrobe leans super casual. So ultimately, there's no right or wrong. It just boils down to which style suits your wardrobe the best. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this, like this video and let me know in the comments which OCBD you prefer. Stay subtle.